So you want to hear a funny story? Rumor is that when Tarzan, King of the Jungle, actually kissed Jane, he had jungle breath. So guys, what's going on? It's Chris here from Ambrosia Buds, and welcome to the Growing Strains playlist, where I basically just give you my experience of growing different strains of cannabis indoors, outdoors, or however I grow it. And I will break down how I've grown this strain, and this is a jungle breath plant. Just to give you guys a heads up, I'm a gas fan. I love the gas. Jungle Boys has definitely got a good genetic system, like a good genetic program going on. I do trust their genetics, and I did seek this out simply because it came from a motor breath. Like I love them. I love them gases, man. So this is a hybrid. And what I'll do is I'll break this down as far as the genetics, the flavor profile, and just my experience of growing this. I will tell you right now, I've grown this strictly indoors. I've grown it in soil and a hydroponic system, which is so this soil plant right here, to give you a heads up, was grown under a Spider Farmer SC7000 in a tent, okay, in soil using King Solomon fertilizer in the hydros. And this is a clone that originally came from my hydroponic system, which is an Alien RWDC, Alien hydroponic system, RWDC, that's grown under a GML Borg Evolution 4-channel spectrum tuning light. I love that light. I love that system. So but I do grow both in, indoor, outdoor, and hydro and soil. I have not grown this plant outdoors, but I will tell you what I think might happen if I did try to grow in an outdoors, depending on the climate that I'm in here, which is Virginia. So first and foremost, like I said, guys, this is a gas. This plant is probably still, like, I'd say 3 weeks away from actually being harvested. You can see that the leaves have gotten super dark. I like that about this plant. I mean, these leaves will actually, by the time, like, they might look purple to you right now. They get a little purple, but by the time this plant is ready for harvest, these leaves are black. I'm talking like onyx fucking black, and I love it. Nugs, super fucking dense. This plant's been topped a couple of times. It was a leftover plant, not a leftover plant, but I cloned this from a hydro system, and I've cloned this plant again. Okay, this is a plant that I do want to keep in my rotation. This is a plant that I could possibly also use in my breeding program, depending what I have, but I am going to keep this strain alive, or this genetic, and if not, I would go back to this genetic. But like I said, that's because I'm a gas fan. You might be a Runts fan, or a Skittles fan, or Girl Scout cookie fan. So it just really depends on you. And I did seek this genetic out specifically because it was from Jungle Boys, and I prefer trusting, a breeding program where I know I'm getting solid genetics, which is a huge problem now that the cannabis industry has gotten to where it is today. What you're having is a lot of people, they're definitely doing a lot of crosses, but they're not, stabilizing the strains, and you're not getting a quality product as far as genetics in the seed, because they haven't, weeded out the recessive traits, and stabilized the dominant traits and stuff like that. But this is a plant that I absolutely would grow again. Now, as far as overall growth characteristics, what I would say is this plant stretches out a little bit. Okay, guys, it likes to get a little taller. Not so much, it wants the cola, but it doesn't get it. But the fucking nugs are heavy and dense, which brings me to the fact that I haven't grown this outdoors, and because I live in an area where the climate is definitely humid. It's humid, and I get severe thunderstorms. And the reason I bring that up is because the weight on these nugs, I mean, you can kind of see it here. I mean, it's a sturdy plant, don't get me wrong, but with the weather of the outdoor scenarios in Virginia, I don't think I would grow this outdoors, because the weight of the nugs alone would, like, crack these stalks, and then I would be worried about a bud rot. And this is a plant that I would not want to get bud rot in, because you wouldn't know it till the end, because they're so fucking dense, man. These things are like rock candy. Seriously. And they're still, like I said, 3 weeks away. So these things are actually, these will swell out because you can't see it here, but if you follow me on Instagram, Ambrosia Buds, you can see like the pictures as well. But I mean, the hairs on this, only like 10, 15, 20% of them are red. So this still has a good ways to go before it's like really fulled out. And like looking at this plant, I would say by the time of harvest, this plant will give me dried, solid 3 or 4 ounces. Yeah, this short. So, you know, depending how you want to grow it, I'm not, actually I am now that I think about it. I do have two of this plant actually cloned. I'm gonna grow 2 of these and 2 alien technologies in my hydro system under my GML next run. So if you guys like what you're hearing and you want to, you know, get updates on that, do yourself a favor, ring the notification bell, subscribe to the channel. But that's it, guys. I'm a huge gas fan, so this was a plant that I really enjoyed growing overall. The last video I did was moonshine cookies, but if I would compare moonshine cookies to this, I'm leaning on this. And this is a couch lock, and I've also had people, you know, tell me they prefer smoking this over when I originally grew this. I grew it with Wonka Z. There's Wonka Z moonshine cookies, and there was one more, and this, but they always prefer this. And these are older heads that know, like, they're cannabis connoisseurs that like this. This is not a daytime weed by any means. So if you're looking for something that you can, you know, like a cup of coffee, if you will, a wake and bake, this is not that genetic. But touche to the Jungle Boys. You know, like, I grew Jungle Breath. I got it by chance from somebody that I really thought they were bullshitting me. And I actually had a buddy of mine stop by today. Well, he flew in today, or 2 days ago, from Colorado, right outside of Boulder, actually. And he saw this plant and was like, dude, what the fuck? So, I mean, and this is a small plant. Like, my main room, the plant was a lot bigger, but that was actually something that kept me from growing this plant too tall, because when I flipped this plant was kind of short. I'd say like right to here, and I knew I didn't want to flip it. I didn't want to stretch it out, because once you flipped it, these buds get so heavy, if you don't have a trellis, it's going to snap the stalks. These stalks are pretty sturdy though. I think that's built into the design of the genetics. Actually, let me take some of these out now that I'm thinking about it. I'm just, now that I have this thing outside, this is normally in a tent, I can see where certain buds aren't getting light. So I just want to, yeah, but you guys, if you can see, these things are almost black. I love that with this plant. Like this, it's purple at first, but I mean, hold on, let me do this one. Fucking, I just love this plant, man. So yeah, if you guys are in the market and you're a gas fan, I would highly suggest getting the Jungle Breath from Jungle Boys, or wherever you get your genetics from. It's definitely a strain that I'm going to keep in my rotation, guys. So that's it. Stay green, keep growing. Peace, much love.